Okay, here we are. A live feed. As promised, I apologize, I got long with a video earlier. I just had to cover a few bases about cutting glass. Some important subjects I really had to get out. And you know me, I start getting on a subject and next thing you know, it becomes a, let's see, my phone, it becomes a lengthy thing. But today, we're going to go live to the Stained Glass Patterns group. Excuse me. I'm still battling probably 2.5, 3 weeks long, like a head congestion, I don't know, ears are clogged, eyes are runny. It's horrible. I think it might be an allergy. I don't know. I just don't know. But maybe bird flu. Maybe I got bird flu. That would be kind of cool. Anyway, if you're here, please say hello. Today's live broadcast will also include some nice gifts. I have a few books, a foiler, one of those little wheel foilers, and the infamous Afterburner. Alright, so no rules, just if you jump in and you make a comment, if you say hello, ask a good question, or have anything to add to the forum, please do. It's real simple. I'm not gonna hold anybody down to any tricks or rules, and just, you know, comments. And oh, hi Vanda, got my glass cutters. Oh, you got the vintage cutters. What do you think of them, huh? They're old, huh? Very old. Yeah, it was our last giveaway. I still have a few more left. I was expecting a lot more mailing, put it that way. I don't think people were too tuned in on, you know, how I was giving away stuff. My apologies. I'm not a one of those game show hosts. I'm bad at. Come on down. Yeah, I still have that chest cold issue. I don't know. I hope it's an allergy. I'm glad you like them, Vonda. I love giving stuff away. And Arthur, thanks for the free stuff. You're welcome, Arthur. What did you end up getting? Oh, wait, and Bobby, you got the foil caddy thing. Little wheel. So, yeah, does it work well for you? Did you try it yet? I'm going to head over to the group and do a little interaction. Let me open this up so I can see it. Let's see if I can make an announcement. Stained Glass Patterns. Let's see, featured. This always gets me confused. Newest, new posts. I'm going to go to show posts with recent comments. I'm going to go to new posts. I think that works best. Oh, okay, teardrop patterns. Yeah, I'm working on more. I really love the series. You know, I don't know why, but I get hooked into making a certain, whether it's a spinner or teardrops or, whatever. I just wear it out. I keep going and going till I say, I got 100. I think there's probably 110 teardrops now. What I'm doing is I'm working on a new book. I got it halfway done. It's going to be a simple book. Well, not simple. It's probably going to have upwards to 200 pages in it or more. The title of the book is going to be Holidays in Glass, in Stained Glass Patterns by Down East Stained Glass, or Down East Holiday Glass. I haven't come up with an actual title yet, but I'm doing the book page format. And I'm looking at it, man, I got a lot of holiday patterns. I'm still working on February, Valentine's, for the opening of the book. And I'm trying to reformat, clean up older patterns, make them look nicer for the book. I think when I'm done, I'm probably upwards to 200 pages in the book. And it's going to be a spiral bound book, like the other teardrop book I have, which everybody seems to like, that format with the spiral. Yeah, you know what, Bobby, I'm a computer guy too, believe it or not. I said, why my audio is not coming out? So I'm like checking that. I downloaded a new copy of the software. I deleted preference. I did everything. And I was really upset. I was like, what the heck is going on? So I went over to my computer settings. It's simple. In the control panel, there's a sound setting for input or output. Well, input was down to like 10%. And I was like, the most simplest thing. And anyway, I fixed that. I have to keep an eye on my audio mic lever. It shows me in the peak zone, so I should be fine, hopefully. I don't know how it changed. I must have had a software update in the middle of the night, and it just kind of set things back to, original formats. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, those foils are neat. I have an older one actually that it's solid lucite. I was talking to a guy about it. I said, yeah, you gotta really offer these things. Don't put them on crazy stands and tilt them. Just lay them on a table and let them unravel. And keep it simple. Make it so you can stick the whole thing in a freezer bag with a Ziploc. And then this way your foil will stay well for you. It won't tarnish up. Excuse me. Figured, let me drink more coffee. It's not working. Anyway, I got a little sidetracked today. I did another video. You can see it in my playlist of more glass cutting stuff. Showing the do's and don'ts and inside curves, and I get passionate about cutting glass, mostly because you could get hurt. I'm not good with the sight of blood to begin with. I know a lot of you guys are nurses out there and doctors, and you have no problem with it. I see a drop of blood, I get like weird. I could do a lot of stuff, but seeing somebody get cut, it's not me. Not for me. Yeah, the Ziploc bag, it's the one with the little thing you hold and move it across. That's it. Put the whole foil, the roll, everything, the tool, everything. Throw it in a bag. Keep the air off it, because the biggest killer of copper foil is just the air, the oxidation from the air. You get tarnishing, you get little dust particles fall down on it, and they it makes a mess. The foil machine itself will protect it quite a bit, but to leave it out for more than a day or two, it's not a good idea, especially at the price of foil. I look at prices now. I'm like, oh yeah. I remember buying regular copper foil, $3-4 a roll. Those days are long gone, I think. Unless they find a giant mountain of copper and somebody willing to spin it up. You never know. Anyway, yeah, I got a little sidetracked. I did another video. I think it was one of my best I've done, because though I don't use a format, everything is very impromptu, whatever the word is. Spur of the moment. I don't have anything written down, so sometimes it's difficult to do that without some sort of outlining format. It's where I get in trouble. I say I want to do this, want to do that, and I end up not doing it, and then I go off on another whole different direction. I started talking about my lobster fishing days and moving to North Carolina, and how I got down East Stained Glass, and it was supposed to be moving to Maine, and I ended up here, and anyway. But yeah, that's what happened. But if you get a chance, if you didn't see it already, take a peek at it. It's actually one of my better videos. There's a lot more explanation on relief cuts and how the science of glass breaking and how to work it to your benefit. That's the best way I can explain it. So Mongo is the best price now. Yeah, guy, he calls me all the time. Hey, just sold another 1,000 rolls. I go, okay, guy. Guy is really good, and he's energetic about it all, but he doesn't make any money. That's a dirty little secret. I'm gonna come out right out and say it. He doesn't charge enough for his stuff, and the main reason why he does, he wants he's like a sharer like me. He's like, spread it around. I mean, he makes money doing it, but he literally gives his stuff away. And anyway, that's Guy. And if you knew him, he's a little he's Guy. He's my older brother. We have the locking of the horns our whole lives, as brothers do. And but deep down inside, he's actually a good-hearted person. I said that. All right. That's for you, Guy. He don't watch my videos. Yeah, common sense thought to me. Yeah, just keep the air off your foil and your lead. If you're gonna use lead, store it under your bench on a shelf, and keep it in the box. The little paper that they give you, just pull it out and lay it over on the top of the lead. It'll save it from getting tarnished if you don't go through it that quick. If you're not going to use your lead right away, just cut a little access hole in the side of the box and cover it back up. Just make sure to keep the air off it. It really helps. Yeah, everybody loves Mongo foil. I heard it's pretty good. Alright, so let's get to the forum. How's that? I just thought of doing something. Interacting. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, go to the top. There you go. What is a hosmer? Anyone? I don't know. Let's see. What is a hosmer? See, I don't know. Oh, is that one of those hand things? Yeah, with the eyeball on it. Okay. I've heard of it before. I wasn't quite sure. Yeah, it's a hosmer hand. Thanks, Jim. Mary Quick. Mary's looking for a sunflower pattern. Not sure if there have been any posted on here. I can't seem to find a search function. Well, there's quite a few different sunflower patterns out there. What's his name? Mr. Benke, he makes a real fancy one. He's on Etsy. I have a few. There's others out there, and they're really not that hard to find. Mary, go to Etsy and just put sunflower in. You'll see, or you could search the forum. Just type in sunflower. You should be able to see all the posts. All right. I hope that helps. Yeah, and Kat. Sorry, Kat, I didn't mention your name. I was just going off, with a few. Yeah, there's a lot out there. Let's go to the chat. I want to do a little bit more chat. So Stephen Weiss, you recently posted that we shouldn't try not break glass by tapping on the back of the school line. This is contrary to information what I've seen previously. Can you explain why? Oh, sure, Stephen. Tapping on glass, it will break. It'll break at the score, right? And it may look great. You may not have a problem with it, but you risk the chance of having issues later with the heat of your iron, where you tap. Every time you tap under the glass, you create an outward burst of little flaws that you can't really see them. Some you can, they're that big, but I call them spider flaws. And what happens is, most of the time, if not most of there will never be an issue. But if you happen to get a little too much heat on your foil, right where that crack was, where the spider cracks are, you really chance, this is a big chance of breaking the glass right across where you don't want it to happen. Tapping should be the last resort. I have issue with folks, teachers saying, yeah, tap, everything, just tap everything. And I had a lady friend, a student actually, who she rented a bench from me. I was crazy cheap. It's like $10 you get the bench all day long. Come in. I had like 2 16-footers and 5 8-foot benches, and then the cementing bench. So here I am alone in my shop. I said, yeah, come in, Linda. She did that. And one day she came in with a piece she made, and it's like all these cracks all over. I was like, Linda, what happened? She goes, I don't know. It just started cracking. Maybe it was in the sun. I said, no. I said, she, make a long story short, I asked her, I said, Linda, do you tap your glass? That's the only thing I could think of. She goes, oh yeah, I tap everything. It's like, really? She goes, yeah. Every score, I tap under every score. I said, why? Where did you learn to do that? And she goes, oh, that's what my teacher taught me. She had the teacher in town. Said, yeah, tap everything. I was like, well, there's your problem. You're tapping everything. You end up with spider flaws. I'm not saying that it's gonna break, but the chances are good it will. All right, so that's the difference. I'm not saying don't tap. If you really feel the need that to get something to break through, and you have to tap, you know what? Have at it, but it's on you to repair it later. Not saying it's going to happen, but there's a good chance of it. You're better off using relief cuts, which I show in a few of my videos. I'm starting to show a little bit more. I did one today with a double relief cut, which, instead of using, this fancy silver schnitz for deep curves and, this and that. Honestly, even with a silver schnitz plier, if you're doing a deep curve breakout and trying to get it in one shot, you're going to end up causing little chips along the edges of your glass just from the glass binding trying to get out. You could put a middle relief cut that works in perpendicular, and that's like a glass trick. It's like glass trickery. That will get the glass out without putting pressure on the edges. Your best bet is to run sickle-shaped relief cuts along or adjacent to the line or on slight angles to the original score line, and removing each relief cut section one at a time. The reason why you do that is because the thinner you get with the overlaying or excessive glass against your score, the less chance you have of putting undesired pressure on that score, which may end up in cracking where it shouldn't, or causing like a splintering effect along the glass when it breaks. And using the proper relief cut, strategically placed, you can use your breaking pliers and snap down and twist out, or kind of nudge the score gently, because glass will bend before it breaks. Glass is not as rigid as, say, concrete. Glass has a little bit of pliability to it. Alright, so just do the relief cuts, avoid tapping, make sure your scores are true. You don't have to be so smooth with every score, but the smoother the better. It'll give you a more successful score and break. Alright, so tapping is, the only time I tap is cutting large pieces of glass. I will tap the end just to start it. Like, you got half-inch glass or quarter-inch glass, plate glass. You tap the end of the score just to get that initial run. So when you put on your breaker pliers or your running pliers, and commercial glass, there's real heavy running pliers that if you just try to use the pliers, it may not start the break. So you need to give it a little. That's what that ball on the end of a glass cutter is. You give the end of the glass just a little, a sharp tap. So you see the glass separate just slightly. Then you use your running pliers and you run it the rest of the way. But that's a really good question, and one that frustrates a lot of seasoned glass cutters like myself. When new students are taught that you tap everything, just tap it. It could. There's nothing further than the truth to all that. I mean, it's not a good thing to do. I mean, it's okay to learn, get you out of a bind, but to use it as a common procedure, no, you don't do it. All right. I mean, I could back it up and show you. Linda passed away, but after 3 or 4 breaks in her little window, and me repairing it, we concluded it was from her tapping, because once I told her not to tap, it never happened again. All right. So there's evidence, proof, and reasoning why. And tapping causes a little spider flaws that it's like you're actually creating the beginning of a run. Right? And again, I'm not going to say it will happen, but the chances, you're increasing your chances of having a problem later on. I hope that helps. Won't grousing pliers also create the same flaws? No. When you grouse, you're grousing away from the piece that you're looking to preserve. When grousing, you're chipping down the edge of the glass, and you're creating a perpendicular to the score. You're not going inward to your desired piece. That's the best way I can explain it. Grousing, or if you're using a carborundum stone, you're taking off the edge. You're not going into the glass that you want. Some people claim that tap to the side of the square you don't want, but who's going to be that good at tapping? I mean, you start tapping, you're going to hit directly underneath the score, and you're going to have problems. You may have problems. I have to say may, because I'd say, oh, Gary said it's going to break. No, a good chance that you're going to have problems. All right? Good question, Stephen. Would you like a teardrop book? Right here. That's for you, Stephen, for asking a really good question. If you'd like it, just message me on the group, or you could send it to my email. I'll put that down right now. I don't want you to post your contact information here in the open chat. You can get me at gs@downeaststainedglass.com. Alright? And just say teardrop book. Okay? I'm going to put this one aside. If you don't claim it, I'm going to have to pass it on. But I'd like to give it to you for that great question. Alright? So one book down. Alright, next book is the 100 Teardrop in black and white. Well, this is the same book, but this is the Lulu, my publisher version. Alright, the other one was meant for Amazon and this and that. It's still in distribution or pre-distribution. Excuse me. Oh, I gotta take one of those Ricola things. But it's the same book, just a different cover. There we go. Maybe I'll get through it. Hey, I don't know if anyone else is having congestion issues in the past week or two. I mean, it's to a point where it's like almost disturbing. But thank goodness we have Ricola. Ricola. I'll take one. If it's got red dye number 6 in it. Probably does. You didn't get me after 65 years, you're not going to get me now. Alright. I'm going to shrink up this a little bit. You guys can see the forum. I hope that's better. Alright. Back to the forum. And keep an eye on my timing. I don't want to go too long. A lot of people say, I got things to do today. So Mary asked about a sunflower. Okay. And that's me mentioning the video. I explained in detail on inside curves. A few other goodies in there about glass safety. And a myth or two exposed. I mean, there's, the whole pulling away thing, and I don't know, made up science. I call it word salad. I don't really mean to put anybody down more than when they just teach this stuff as it's gospel, and beginners pick it up and they end up hurting themselves. That's my axe to grind. Alright? It's that simple. Nobody questions it. I watched their video. Other people. I'm not even going to say who it is. I watched the videos. Nobody questions it. That's why, Stephen, you asked about my maybe contradictory thing about grouses and tapping, and I'm more than happy to answer. If I say something that you're not too comfortable with my explanation or why, ask. I'm here for you. I'm here for that. And if I don't have an answer, I'm not going to make one up. All right? That's my promise. I'll say, you know what? I just don't know. But I do know about tapping. All right, Stephen, you got the teardrop book, the blue cover. All right. And what I do is, I forgot to do it the other day. I sign all the books. I'm going to do this one live. Let me get it on here. Whoops. Alright. That's for Stephen. I have a little sticky thing. I write your name on it. I'll remember. Actually, Stephen, I'm going to tag you here, Stephen. Gets blue book. That's how I'll do it. So I can always go back and look. Right? Here we go. Alright. Yeah, please. Well, Stephen, I'm sure you're going to like it. It's a very good book. So I've heard. I don't do much glass anymore due to my failing eyesight. Just that I don't do glass anymore, really. I should. I still know how. Maybe I'd make a window or two. Just because it's something I don't want to stop doing. Bobby Schneider. Yeah, you know, Bobby, there's a lot of different preferences out there. I'll say, you know, different ways of doing things. You know, it's techniques, and I just say gently, the advice they give is really not that good, and I'm just really I'm the kind of person that I care more about people that don't see the forest through the trees, kind of thing. So if I hear or see something that's going to cause pain or injury or confusion, or I'm gonna shout from the trees, the mountaintop. I mean, I'm using too many what you call flavorful ways of explaining it, but it's simply that. So I don't look for this stuff, but if I see it, I'm gonna bring it up. It's that simple. All right, and I do it in the forum. I get in trouble. People start calling me names, and you know, everybody's got their way, and you know, that's fine. But again, if I find a technique that needs a little scrutiny, there's the word I'm looking for, I'm not going to hold back. I'm going to say it. And if I'm wrong, I mean, I've been off a little bit here and there, you know, just say, you know, maybe I wasn't looking at things in all different directions, but you know what, for the most part, I'm pretty rock solid on with the correct advice, and I explain my reasoning behind it. I don't just say things. You know. Anyway. I mean, I really don't want to be looked at as a, you know, egomaniac, bombastic personality type. I'm not that. But, you know, I'm also not afraid of speaking my mind. So, which I'm sure a lot of you have seen. I'm not proud of it, but it's just, maybe my mother, that's where she was. She didn't like something, she told you. You know, it's like, geez, Ma, thanks. No, just say it again. Probably where I get it from. Yeah, Nancy, she's making this really nice wood sculpture. You guys that do this wood stuff, I mean, I love it. I mean, I think it's such a creative way of using different, nature elements. You got the wood, and then you got the stained glass that goes in it. Becomes a permanent thing, either in your living room or outside in the garden. You put enough varnish on that wood, should last quite a long time. Or just give it a good coat of stain. I don't know, but I'm sure if you use a good sealant, that wood won't split and hold its own for a long time. If there's wood people in the forum, maybe let me know, because I'm just guessing. I think UV would be your biggest killer of that. And the sun, the UV rays dries it out, makes it split. Not so much the rain, especially if you give it a good coating of a varnish, or maybe even polyurethane. But then it may change the look if you go with a flat or a satin finish. It may be what you're looking to do. I don't know. I've never made one of these wood art things, but I'll tell you this: the ones I've seen are just awesome. And this looks like Nancy's on her way to creating something really nice. Can't wait to see it done. Yeah, a lot of people, I mean, for good reason. It's really nice. Alright, let's see, what else we got? Oh, your dad, he's got a router, huh? I don't know, Dad, you're going to be turning that router bit, looks to me. No, he's probably more excited about making setting you up. Roster type, router type. That's are you doing the talk to text? That's funny. Alright, Birdie Perch, Mr. Fox. Oh, I saw that. That was the fox with the bow tie. And very cute. Maybe a cigar? Just kidding. Oh look, you got somebody stretching lead. Oh, I thought you were going to spin it for us. I'm watching that video. And a little scrubbing. A little patina. Yeah, I'll give my 2 cents in right now. You guys patina your stuff, just on the sidelines, you're looking for trouble. Alright, I'm going to tell you that right out loud. That's where you get that hazing and it takes too long. You want to get your patina on as fast as you can. You spray it down, scrub it in, make it slurry till you get that brown sludgy thing, then rinse the whole thing off. The whole process should take just a few minutes. You saw the patina, you leave it on, especially some iridized glass or white glass is very prone to getting that. It's like like a hazing of the patina, and it happens when you go slow and you think you're doing the right thing with a Q-tip or a toothbrush and you're going over every solder line. No, you want to get it on, scrub it in good, and get it off. Patina is very, very caustic acid. It more so than the flux. And flux is bad too, but if you're using a zinc chloride flux, you're looking for trouble, especially with lead. But if you use a nice water-based neutralized flux or non-aggressive flux, I use Glass Pro from Ed Hoy, or use one of those other paste fluxes and the no corrodes. They tend to be less caustic to your glass. So yeah, I saw the toothbrush with the flux. No, patina. No, don't do it. get it on, spray it on if you want. Use a spray bottle. Scrub it in all over, everything. Glass, solder, get the whole thing. And then I'm looking at that fox. That patina should sit no longer than 5 minutes on it. You get the whole thing, rinse it right off. By rinsing it off, you're removing the patina and neutralizing whatever's there. You don't have to start scrubbing it with dishwashing soap. It should all be cleaned up before you patina. So, do yourself a favor. Alright? This is my 2 cents. See, my 2 cents wasn't asked for, but I'm giving it. You got a sponge to clean it. That's alright. What is the best circle cutter for stained glass? I don't know. I've seen some with suction cups, and I think Creators makes one, and what's the other one? Morton, one of them. There's a couple out there. I don't use them. I just cut by hand. So, if I had to cut 100 circles, I might get one, but I never had to. Excuse me. Alright. Yeah, some polyurethane will turn yellow in the sun eventually. There you go. Yeah, listen to hubby. He says that, your polyurethane's going to turn yellow. Don't use it. I would think just a good stain with a varnish in it would probably be best. And just let it age naturally. That might work too. Alright. I'm going to do it this way. Next up, if that thing falls off one more time, that's the afterburner tool. Next item up for grabs is, let's see if I can see this. I have to move my other window. There we go. It's the 100 teardrops original version. This one again, I publish a receipt in there. See if there's anything weird. 102 pages. It's got my address. No big deal. I'm going to include that. Just show you. This is actually they call it a proof copy. You have to order proofs before you can have your book published. This is one of my proof copies. Alright, so I'm going to sign this one right now, if I can. There we go. Right, I signed it at the bottom. Right there. It's going to come with the actual documentation of the proof copy. And this will be for the next person who asks me a question in regards to doing lead work. I'm going to do it like that. Lead work question. It can be anything from cane, solder, cement, whatever you want. But just, I would love that. Oh, gift ones. Oh, okay, hold on. I've got more books, but I'm gonna try something different. This one right here, this book. Somebody asks a good lead question. It's theirs. All right, we're gonna do that. And here's Ella. What is the best way to cut lead? I'd have to say sober. Just kidding. Best way to cut lead. Well, Ella, you got the book already for asking a question. And that is a good question. You know, the old way was with the lead knife, you know, the Don Carlos curved blade tip, very sharp, and depending on what kind of lead you're cutting, whether you're cutting down from the crown or across from the leaf, mostly it's done from the crown down, and it's done in a wiggling motion, just to get the blade to work its way through the lead. And it does take time. The advantages of using that is like more so for like 3/8 flat H lead, and you know, where like you're doing diamond windows, what you do is you put the lead in where you want it, in between the diamonds, and you give a little scratch how deep you want the cut to be, and then you slide out the lead a little bit, and while it's still in the window with the glass there, you run your knife right next to the glass line, and then you take the point of the knife and you slide that lead right back. That does two things. It keeps the lead from getting crushed, number one, when cutting it, and number two, it gives you your distance you need, because you could take another piece of scrap lead, put it next to it for a gauge, scribe it, take the point of the Don Carlos lead knife, push it back in, and then tap it down. It's got a weighted handle. You know, make sure that all the leaves are down flat, and then the next lead goes up to it or over slightly. And very, very common for old diamond style windows, especially with the 3/8 flat lead or 1/2 inch or thicker, to do an overlapping. You know, where one lead actually goes over the top of the lead below it, and then tap down. So you can spread the lead out. You know, you could use your thumb or, you know, dowel or something, and just tap it over using the bottom of the knife, tapping it in, and then tapping it down to seat the lead on top of the other lead. So if you're using a lead knife to do stained glass work, there's a lot more advantages to using the knife than just cutting the lead. You know, you could use the knife to set your nails in, or I use pins because I am really cursed with extreme accuracy. If you've seen my other windows, I cut to the line, my cut to the pattern. I put the glass down, it fits perfectly on the cartoon. There's no smashing the glass in and reworking it. So all I need is an aluminum push pin, which I'll grab my lead knife, which it's there, you know, for cutting the 1/2 inch perimeter lead, and I'll give it a little tap tap, and it's in. That's it. It's done. And my bench tops are 1/4 inch masonite brown board. So when the pin goes in, it's actually very secure. And then it comes out with a little twist and a pull. So I don't use horse nails. Horse nails, it ends up chewing up your bench top. It's a mess. But your question, let's see. You have a, was a bit. Oh yeah, the best way to cut lead, using the lead nippers today, holding up vertically with your round crown leads, is not only efficient, but it makes a nice cut. You got to be careful you got the right angle. You don't want to go hold the pliers, the cutters straight up and down, because your cut will be on an angle. So you want to kind of learn the angle you have to cut to go straight down. And the same thing, you push your lead all the way in, take the cutters, cut, just kind of nip, hold the top crown, pull the lead out, slide it out a little bit, slide the cutters down, and continue with your cut. And cut the lead. Then push it back in. It'll push in quite easily. And that also sets you up for your next piece of lead that you need to cut. You don't have to take it out. You don't have to you do it all in place, and it works very efficient. So Ella gets. Let's see, Ella. Use for you. Oh, Ella. Okay, I'm gonna write Ella gets the black book and a happy face. All right. So that's for you, Ella, for asking your very good lead question. And there's a lot more things you can do with lead, and as far as the cutting, the procedures involved, actual stretching, the different types of lead, whether it's a high tensile or a softer lead that bends easy. There's more to it. There's tricks as far as using the back end side of the lead nippers that'll leave a point. There's little tricks to that too. And also by gradually cutting back on the leaves of the lead for sharper points. There's more of that. There's a lot more to lead cutting than just cutting the lead. I hope that kind of explained it. Okay, I'm going to go down. Have to do lead for the first time. How much do you have to stretch it? You stretch it until like you're playing tug of war with a big beagle or a small German Shepherd. I'm not kidding. You pull on it, it's like, all right, I'm playing with a tuggy toy with you don't do it with a 200-pound Akita. You give it a good, nice little snug. And usually it's till the lead is perfectly straight. But in the case with high tensile lead, if you get 2 or 3 inches out of a 6-foot piece, you're lucky. You probably wouldn't stretch at all. But the softer lead, you don't want to overstretch it because then you'll weaken the lead. That's not good. You just want to stretch it until it's straight. All right. That goes for 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch is so easy to break. You could think you got to stretch it a little more, but you snap it. Usually snap it, especially the low tensile, high lead content lead. A high tensile lead has more tin in it, which makes it a lot more rigid. Different companies like Cascade and Premier will stipulate whether it's a high tensile or a softer lead. I always recommend going with the high tensile lead, unless you're doing a ton of wisteria pieces where you're foiling the lead. And in that case, a lot of times, especially with grapes, you could lead the whole grape and actually go with the lead over the lead. So it's like it's not going to butt up crown to crown. It's going to be crown over crown. So you have like a 3-dimensional effect of the lead over lead. And that's what's really important with doing it that way. You have to design your window to accommodate that, because it will add a little expansion to the overall finish of the window. So you got to allow for that little bit of spacing. I hope that helped. Good one. Explain the different widths and profiles of lead, strength or just preference. Well, the smaller the piece, the smaller the lead, and that it's going to be that simple. If you got a lot of tight inside curves, you want to use a 3/16 instead of a 1/4 inch lead. For background, like borders and squared areas, you want to go to a 1/4 inch lead that would retain its straightness, whereas 3/16 will have a little wave to it. You got to watch. You don't want background lines to have a wave in it. And if the window is a larger window, you really don't want to use thinner lead as much because of the size of the pieces. You want a little integrity there. It's all based on the size of the piece and what you're doing with it. So I have a good video showing a window I did using a 1/4 inch, 3/16 lead, and then 1/2 inch around the perimeter. And I explained why I used 1/4, where I did, and 3/16. Alright, so you want to check that out. It's in my video library. So I hope that helped. So there's with profile strength and just profiles also. You got the round crown, like you got the H round, which has a rounded crown. You have the H flat. You have the 1/4 inch round. You have 1/4 inch flat. You have there's also specialty leads, some that looks like a Y, or some that looks like a little H with a long leg and a short leg on the other side. It looks like a small H. That's for setting into a framework where your actual trim is going to go over your lead, and you're really limited on spacing. It really plays important if you're doing like a glass insert for these modern plastic frame windows. You could use that off, the lead that it looks like a little H, and use that high area of the H behind the trim. So when you put the trim back, you don't have to worry about squishing a 1/4 inch of lead. You just have a small, possibly 1/16 of an inch, which will get absorbed by the frame. They also have off-heart lead, where one side, a very common off-heart is 1/4 and 3/4 inch, which is a total of 1 inch lead, the thickness, and that's for doing again glazing with a heavy trim, like say 3/4 inch surface glazing using putty, where you want off-heart to give you a little bit more spacing around the perimeter, and then retain the inner area, say the 1/4 inch part of it, to balance out with the other part of the window. That's called off-heart. And there's more. There's they make lead with like an edging in it. It's that's basically the common. In 1/2 inch. I've never seen a 1/2 inch round, but 3/8 they do make a round version, but usually it's flat. 1/4 inch is round or flat, and then 1/8 inch is again round or flat, and 3/16 is round or flat. The flat leads are not as strong as the round lead. You just keep that in mind. All right. It's both preference and strength. Also, do you have to use 50-50 or use 60-40? Ella, that is the best question you can ask. Believe it or not, my dad, all he used was 60-40. Like, Dad, he goes, that's what I use. Like, he just, all the windows he ever made, he did a lot of diamond, two-door diamonds. 60-40, because it floats nice and it's quick. Then I'm thinking, I said, yeah, well, that's because he uses the flat lead. And 60-40 will float out on flat lead nice. Problem is with 60-40, it tends to leave a lot of bright spots. Wherever you solder on the window, you're going to see like stars in the night, the bright spots. So that turns me off. Also, 60-40, if you're using it on round crown lead, any slight spacing that you left there or void between the lead, 60-40 has a better chance to seep down past the crown and lodging itself between the glass and the lead core. And what's bad about that is if there is any tension on that window or movement, expansion, anything, lifting the window, that solder that's down there next to the glass could cause the window to break. I've seen it happen. So for that reason, I use 50-50 solder for lead and nothing else. That's more than a good reason for me to do it. Plus, it looks nice. And when you patina, you don't put any patina. When you cement it, you polish out your window, the 50-50 will tone down a lot nicer than 60-40. The overall appeal is a lot greater. Right? And 60-40 will not seep through it doesn't become as liquid as 60-40. 50-50. I hope I said that. 50-50 does not become as liquid as 60-40. It's not a matter of temperature, because 50-50, at times you need a little bit more heat to get it to melt. But it also hang up better. So it's a little fine line there. Alright? It's use 60-40 if you can't use 50-50. I'll leave it at that. But be prepared for issues if you do use 60-40. With 50-50, you have less chance of problems. Alright? A little chop saw to cut it. I've got some lead. I've got to get the name. Well, you can use a chop saw for lead. It's kind of lazy, honestly. With the lead nippers today, it's so quick. The chop saw, you use that for zinc or the brass crown lead. Yeah, it's actually lead with the brass crowning on it, and nearly impossible to cut with a lead knife. So you have to use a chop saw or a hacksaw. You'll have to demonstrate that sometime. I'll try. Wicked Bad Naughty Glass. What a name! I love it. You're Wicked Bad. You must be from Maine. I was thinking from Maine or Massachusetts. That was a wicked cool name. Bad Naughty. Oh, yeah. You just give it a tug till you don't want to keep tugging. Just give it a good, snug it up. It becomes easy. When you stretch lead, you say, all right, I gotta pull this hard and be done with it. You stretch 2 at a time, you get good at it. I usually just stretch about 5 or 6 and put them right next to what I'm working on, and say, all right, gotta stretch some lead. Yeah, you don't want to pull too hard. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I could pin messages. A Wicked Naughty Glass. I'm gonna step outside the box here. You pardon me. For helping with answering Wicked Naughty or Bad Naughty. I'm sorry. I'm gonna pin that message, and then I've got for you one of these really cool old glass cutters. What? I'll go with 2. I got an old. This is a German Diamanter. This is a steel wheel cutter for float glass. Probably still works. Yeah, still works. I got some old Red Devil. Still have that one. Old this one. I can't read it. I'm too old to read that. And then we got this one. I think it's Miller's Falls. I think that was a hardware store. This is probably a hardware store glass cutter for promotional, like they gave out those old yardsticks. That's my guess. So to help me out with the answer, Pick one out. You want the 3 or the 2? Let me know. Oh, you're from Texas. Which one do you want? You want the 3 old ones here? Or do you want the 2 wooden handles? These are actually both wooden handles. Look at this one. That's got to be 100 years old. So let me know. You say 1 or 2. Alright. Ella gets black book. Alright. Ella gets black book. You guys don't know how much fun this is giving stuff away. I'm serious. Alright, let's see. Just till it gives you okay. Make sure you stand. Well, yeah, there you go. Yeah, Jan. Ella, you're right about that. That lead gives. You're going across the studio. Done it. It was not fun. Cindy, I'm gonna have to break out more stuff to give away. Yeah, you know what? Don't take my word as gospel, but I'm telling you, 50-50 is a better option than 60-40. If you find that you can't work with it, go back to 60-40. I could give you a little advice, Ella. Use Glass Pro Flux. The flux, I don't know what's in it, but it's not a zinc chloride flux. It's more of a natural flux. It's more like oleic acid. But when you solder with it, especially 50-50 solder, it floats out beautifully. It smokes a little bit. It's like oleic acid would. But it's not a toxic fume unless you're breathing it, inhaling. Get good ventilation. Use the Glass Pro Flux on your 50-50 and lead. You will love how it comes out. That I could promise you. Alright. To get some 50. You're from Texas? Well, you get the big one then. Alright, Wicked Naughty, Wicked Bad Naughty. I'm gonna send you the nice wood cutters. You know, this one's this actually, it's got CRL on it. C.R. Lawrence. That's the glazing supply company. But this is actually a really good cutter. You're gonna cut window glass. I just had it laying around, and this one, I have no idea why there's a hole. This thing's older than the hills. You're gonna like it. You hang it on your wall. All right. And again, send me an email. I have it up here. Right here. Let's see. I'm gonna copy that. I'll send my email again. Oh, it didn't want to copy. Alright, I'll type it out. Okay. Alright. Alright. Wicked Bad. You send me an email address. Don't put your mailing address here. Send it to my email. Just say, 2 old cutters. I don't have any sticky notes I should get sticky notes. Actually, I got a piece of paper. I can write your name. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna do that. Oh, Ella, I'm sorry to hear that. You you can check back later. It's going to be recorded, so where you left off, you can head back in. It's at, we're at an hour and 9 minutes already. We're not going to be much longer, but drive safe, and we'll see you soon. Okay. All right. All right. You got it, Wicked. I'm gonna say Wicked BN gets wood. This way I don't forget. Alright. Oh, Wicked WBN. Well, I'll figure that out. Sorry about that. Alright. So we got the 2 books out of the way. Some cutters. I got these 3 cutters. These are actually really cool. Somebody asked me a question regarding glass cutting. And if it's one I picked to answer, you got these 3 cutters. Alright? I don't want to pick the first one or this one. I'm going to pick the one that gets me to answer. Okay? We're going to do that. So there's no hard feelings. I want you to be a little bit creative with your question. And we'll give you that. Alright? Let's see. We're going to go back to the group. See, I'm neglecting the group. But that's alright. I'm having fun. Alright, best circle cutting. Alright. Retro ASA. ASA. Alright, 3D eggs. Alright. Looks, I don't know, I think of science fiction when I see this. Looks like that, you know, like an alien eye. Eh? I don't know. Looks cool though, I like it. Yeah, that's what, okay, someone asked a glass cutting question. It's sitting right here. These are actually, this one right here, this Red Devil cutter, I mean, it's got to be from the 30s or 40s. I mean, this is old. I've seen a lot of Red Devil cutters. That's definitely one to have right there. All right. Chuck is new to the group. Yes, I have been doing glass for 25 years. Always looking for new patterns. Alright. If anyone else remembers, you know, back in the day, you know, before the internet and this and that, they used to have the Art Trader. It was like an antique trader magazine. And in the magazine, you had a lot of people selling stained glass, old stained glass. And my uncle used to get it was more like I don't say a penny saver, but it wasn't a true magazine. It was like a cheapened down version of a magazine. But in there, you had all these great pictures of antique stained glass windows. And it was, you know, he used it for inspiration all the time. And, you know, I love thumbing through it to look at, you know, because the people selling, these antique dealers selling antique stained glass windows. And that was like probably the way of getting that kind of information out to the public. There's a little nostalgia. So, that's all we had. Well, going to church, then you had to take pictures of it. That was not good. Alright. Maria, say, I enjoy art. Yep. You got how many? Ooh, you up to 600 something? I don't know. How many people. I think it's 168,000 members, right? I think that's it. A lot of people in this group who love art, who enjoy art. And look at that. Looks mysterious. Yeah, it's very nice. Like that is steel blue. Good color for the whale. Very nice. Alright, yeah, spaceship. Okay. Alright. Okay, so Wicked Badass Bad Glass. I'm sorry, I'm not picking on your name. Wicked Bad Naughty Glass gets these. Any takers for these three? Come on now. This is. I would jump on that. I might as well keep them. They asked me. All right, first person to ask me any glass cutting question. That's what I'm here for. First glass cutting question. I love the name, Wicked Bad Naughty. It's like that. How do you sign your checks? I have a neighbor. She's from Maine, and it's like wicked this, wicked that. Oh, it's wicked. It's like, well, hey, wicked. Witches are wicked. No, wicked. I go, no, wicked. It's a Maine. Down east Maine, where I was gonna move. You already learned something, Wicked. How did they cut glass in the diamonds, no doubt. Right? Well, they had a lot of the slab glass back then. Duval, right? They just used a chisel and a hammer. They cracked it. But I would think early glass cutting was done with a diamond. I wasn't around. I'm reaching for that one. That you have to check a book for. I think a glass cutter wasn't invented till like 1850 something. Yes, Cindy. When we were in the glass shop, the glass form, he brought out the bucket of water and the scissors, and we're like, "Come on, Bob, what are you trying to do?" And there he was. He's cutting the glass. And we're like, you could do that without the water. And no, it cut. It just cut a circle, but it was interesting. That's the vibration. From when glass breaks, it sends a vibration throughout the glass, and that's what causes it to break wherever it may. The water will tend to subdue that vibration or buffers that vibration. That's my scientific guess. Yeah, this is my guess. I think it makes sense. Oh yeah, you're dating yourself now, Wicked Bad. Monty Python. It's just a flesh wound. Those guys were nuts. And Benny Hill, right? You got the Monty Python and Benny Hill. I used to watch both of them. His English humor was like really off the charts. It's crazy and funny. Those Monty Python guys they were nuts. See with the what's that thing that shot cannonballs over the wall. they fire off whatever. They found this and shoot it off. We said if Glass was a person, she would be Wicked Bad Naughty Zoot. So that's there you go. Glass, the temperaments of Glass, just like a woman. That's gonna get me in trouble. Oh, Benny Hill the guy was too funny. Very risque for his time, but the guy was is hilarious, especially with the little old man on the tricycle. It's just too much. I wish it was still prime time. I guess you can watch old reruns, but you get a good chuckle out of it. Benny Hill. Alright. Oh wait, did we get a glass? Cindy, that was a glass question. So technically, you are the proud owner of these beautiful and truly antique glass cutters. I don't think they work. Maybe if you soak them in oil, WD-40, you might get them to work. But I think the wheels themselves are tarnished so badly that it'll never cut. All right, but they're yours. Shoot me an email. You go scroll up. Oh, my email address right here. All right, just shoot me an email, okay? I'm going to look at live chat. There we go. Glass is temperamental. Okay. Yeah, Cindy, shoot me an email. I want to give you those cutters. All right. Cindy Akers, Guilford. That's my doctor's name. I'm gonna write Guilford. My doctor's last name. Alright, you got the cutters. Right, which leaves us to this final item. This was popular. You can see it. I'm gonna go back. Early 2000s, 2003. It comes in a sealable bag, and the purpose of that is to take everything, your foil and everything, and stick it right back. It's got a pin that goes through all three rolls. It comes out, it pops out easy enough, you know, to get to change the foil. I've never used it, but I know it comes apart. Right, so look at that, $4.95. That's what I sold it for in my studio. I mean, I had a few leftover things that, you know, things that ended up in boxes, and here they are. So next person, I just put a, oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Alright. Being it's a foil tool, if you use a hand foiler and you set one of these up on your tabletop, you know, where you're working, your bench top, and you let the foil roll out and into your foil machine, it's a great little gadget. Alright? Oh, this is from the Emerald Rainbow. Anybody remember that name? They made glass tools back in the day. I know there was that. There was the Running Rabbit tools and different companies. There was a lot of companies making odd gadgets. So, yeah, it's a foil cozy. Never seen one. I've got the older one. I'll bring it on camera. Hold on. I'm gonna pull it up over here. It's still set up. You can see that. Yeah, it's just got a lucite spacer, a wing nut to take it apart easy, and then a screw on the bottom. It helps it spin. Makes it spin easy. I've had this forever. I think I have like 3 of these. Maybe I'll give one of them away. I gotta dig it out. It's in the studio somewhere. But yeah, that one for hand foilers, that's the way to go. Those foil caddy things, they're cute. You can see all your foil. They come out the little slot. But other than putting the whole thing in a garbage bag, you can't protect the foil. And look at me, right? I leave mine out. I'll just pull off the first foot of it, and it'll be fine. But inside that, the caddy itself, it's actually protecting the foil. So, but if you're going to store it for long periods of time, it should be put in a plastic bag. Okay. Well, here we go. Somebody asked a question about copper foil, and you got the, let's see, Wicked Bad said it's a foil cozy. So I think it's a copper foil spin. I'm teasing. So ask a good copper foil question. I was never considered a copper foiler. In our studio back in the day, no one person did everything. You had glass cutters, you had artists, you had people that just did specific tasks, and some guys were a little more flexible. They put windows together, glazed windows. That's what we called it. Actually, glaze a window means put the lead in it. And then they also they built lamps that were made out of lead framing. That was actually Guy. One of his first projects was to build a leaded lamp, panel lamp. And then they glazed windows, but he never would start washing lamps, patina lamps. We had solderers in the back room that would all they did was solder. And we had two, my brother Glenn and Don Flaro, last names, now I'm going to say Don, they would place lamps. They put lamps together inside a bowl, large salad bowls. That's what they look like. And the way we got the lamps to retain their shape, because gravity would, common sense, pieces stop falling. What they would do is they use a very thin, like a 16th inch acid core solder, but it wasn't the rosin core solder. It was like a waxy acid that you solder right over it. When you do your soldering of your lamp, and on the inside of the lamp we would solder with 50-50. Well, it was cheaper, but I don't think it was a cost factor. It was just that when you did the inside with 50-50, when you went and did the outside with 60-40, the 50-50 took a little more temperature to melt, so the 60-40 wouldn't seep through, wide spaced areas of the lamp. All lamps were like super snug. Every lamp had a little bit of void, intentional void. My uncle would sit there for hours and hand sand down the vinyl templates we use. These were a 20, I would say millimeter, not millimeter, 20 mil vinyl patterns. And he would sit there, for hours, just taking off a little bit here, take off a little. He was literally shaping the templates of the lamps just to get that desired shadowing effect. And it was a big part of our look. People are really concerned about foil fitting tightly, snug. It's not a necessity. It's actually a hindrance to the overall look of a finished product. And if you understand what I'm saying, you understand why he did that with the patterns. He intentionally created spaces, and the finished product our lamps did not look like everything else you see in the market that were done either by machine or so perfect, the spacing so perfect. It looked fake. Our lamps were very handmade looking, and they truly were. So it's a little stained glass history on Somers stained glass and our lamps. Yeah, I was saying everybody had a, we had a. I could count them. I could still see them cutting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 full-time glass cutters, or 8. All we did was cut glass. That's all we did. I was one of them, which I did artwork too with my uncle. They wanted to train me and get me to start doing artwork, which I did. And then we had the foilers and a whole section in the back, like the foiler department. It's just everybody had a roll of foil that was the size of a 33 a record, like an album. Maybe a little small, like a 78. Between a 78 and 30, that's probably right, about the size of a small frisbee. And it was 25 pounds of copper in each roll. It would last quite a long time. And the foil itself was a 2 mil. It wasn't 1.5 or 1.25. It was a 2 mil copper foil with no glue on it. And you probably say, well, how did it stick to the glass? Well, if you crimp it in such a way, the foil was thick enough and rigid enough to retain its shape on the edge of the glass. Every now and then you'd have a piece pop off, but it was very rare. And if you were a good foiler, if you crimp down the foil correctly, using duct tape on your fingers, because that foil will cut you. I mean, I had the worst paper cut from copper foil from years ago. Just running my hand, because I wasn't a foil. I was like, oh jeez, my hand cut my hand wide open from copper foil. So that's my little story. Let's see. Can you over burnish? Absolutely. You can burnish it and start seeing glass come out from below. No one knows how to work it out. You remember the old 78s? They'd spin really fast. Now I'm dating myself. Bing Crosby days, right? And then, the rolls of foil, they were probably bigger than that, but smaller than a 33. And we made foil cozies, caddies, out of whatever we had, like masonite, strong cardboard, and that's how they foil. The record, no. It's funny, Bobby. If I had the record, I'm 65, so I grew up in my music years with, 1971 through, whatever, throughout the 70s and the 80s, I have I didn't like the Doors too much. I wasn't a big Doors fan, so I had this big collection of Doors out from gifts, all sealed, right? I had other ones. I was more into country music and ZZ Top and the Southern rock thing. So you get albums for your birthday, gifts from people, you never open them up. And I've had them like that till the day I gave them away. But if I only had them today, right? So, yeah, I had all of that. I remember my cousins, they had the old Beatles albums and, the 45s, and what a time to be alive. And no kid today will ever believe you when you tell them that vinyl had a different sound. You run a good needle through vinyl and a good amplifier, an old Sansui or Sanyo or whatever, Pioneer, with those big wood speakers, nothing compared to the sound you got out of it, pulling a needle through vinyl. It's just, even with the little click and pop here and there, the sound, you can't, digital today, it's not the same sound. They won't believe you. Huh? I'm particular about, I sit back down and roll, and it doesn't come on one, then it goes into the, yeah, the price of oil nowadays, you betcha. You gotta preserve what you can. Hopefully it'll start coming down. Let's see. Just trying to see. Oh, can you over burnish foil? Yes, you can. And I get a lot of heat for this. I never burnish. My burnishing is done with my fingers. I push it down till it's down. I don't leave stuff popping up in the corners and big gaping holes. But I just get it down snug to the glass and just solder it. I've never had a problem. I don't do a lot of foil work, but the foil work that I have done, I've never had an issue with it. Whether it's lamps or windows. So burnishing to me, and I get it. You got little sun catches and you want it to look real neat and well structured. I get it. I'm not picking on it. I'm just saying I never had a reason to do it, and because I never really did a lot of the smaller items. My mom did, and she burned. She used a Sharpie pen, and she didn't overdo it. And she used one of those white burnishing tools. I remember watching her do it. And it helped make a nice solder line. I guess if you go too heavy and hard on the edges, you're gonna have issues with glass popping through, which is not the end of the world. I would just solder it up anyway, so it'll cover it. With the size and the date. Well, now you're getting a little bit. Well, I know what 7:30 seconds looks like from across the room, or a 1/4 inch, pretty much. And because I very rarely, well, the reason being, only time I ever used 1/4 inch foil was for doing, my mom used to make the wedding invitations. 2 pieces of glass, use a single strength glass over, say, a colored glass, like a Spectrum or something. You put the wedding invitation in between, you cut it to size, and then you sandwich it using the 3/30 seconds glass, which is single strength, not 1/8 inch, which is double strength. And the single strength being it's a little thinner, and it's used quite often for picture frames. And some windows in your house have the thinner glass. But anyway, the 1/4 inch foil would be just enough to encapsulate both layers of the thin glass and the stained glass and the wedding invitation. And you go around twice. Because the last thing you want is to have flux or something work its way under that foil onto the wedding invitation. If and then you burnish it. You have to burnish that. But if anyone makes wedding invitations, that's how you do it. Don't use like G&A, clear, even 1/8 inch glass. You got to use the 3/30 seconds, which it's called single strength glass, and it's very thin. Not but it's strong. It's float glass, and a lot of windows in homes are single strength. They're not double strength. Actually, a lot of tempered glass, not tempered, thermal pane in your homes, the insulated glass is single strength. It's not double strength glass. A lot. I would say most of it is. So it's easy to get. If you find old windows and broken, just cut a piece out of it. We'll go to the glass shop and start dumpster diving carefully. Alright. Alright, so technically I'm in Cindy Bobby, she asked a question. Okay, Bobby, would you like the copper foil spinning wheel? Right here. Just say yes, and if you do, send me an email. I'll type it again. Right. Shoot me an email. Say, you say the foil wheel, spinning wheel. All right, and it's yours. And Jamie says hi. Hi, Jamie. All right, we're just running down. Oh, you already have one? You better get a YouTube channel and start giving them away. All right, take it back. Anybody with a foil question, have at it. Bobby backed out, but I'm not going to let that go. You're going to like this better. Let's see if we can find out what size this is. This is a vintage hand foiler. I gotta get my glasses on to see what size it is. It looks like it's 7/32. It should be. Let's see. And get the dirt off it. Actually, no, that's 1/4 inch. You can see it right there, if you can see it. Put my hand there. Well, that'll be upside down. There we go. This is for 1/4 inch copper foil. It's got the crazy feeder in the back. Really don't need it, but this will work for what I was just saying before, using 1/4 inch foil over a wedding invitation. See, this will spread out. Actually, no, this will be my mistake. If you need a heavier foil for regular 1/8 inch glass, this is it. All right. If you do use 1/4 inch, let me know. If you don't, I'm going to switch that up. Let's see what else we got. Like I said, I got a lot of old. Oh, here we go. This is good. Unless you want the 1/4 inch, let me know. Excuse me. Let's look at this one. This is I got about. I got quite a few of these. Alright, this one, it's a 7/32. You can see that. It's written down right there. And this is an old, let's say, from West Germany. Yeah, Herman's. Yeah, if it says West Germany in there, means this is before the Berlin Wall. So we're going to predate in what, 80 something? So not only is this a vintage tool, that still works. It's for 7/32. If you want it, Bobby, let me know. Just say, yes, I want foil tool. and it's yours. Okay. See, I didn't see who washed the stained glass sun catcher in water, maybe and water and dish soap after they're soldered. Wouldn't that get the water under the foil? No, it could. It just dry it good. Actually, you kind of want it to slush around. If it does get under there, it'll get rid of the patina that may have settled in there, or the flux. I don't think it's I don't think it's a bad thing. It will evaporate. I mean, I don't know. Unless you want to neutralize any acid that gets in there, you can go ahead. What I like to use is Sudsy ammonia. Not a lot. Just take it, sprinkle it on the window, swish it around, and rinse it off. Sudsy ammonia, or ammonia, is the strongest acid neutralizer on earth. Stronger than baking soda. So it is the #1 acid neutralizer. It's a little rough on the nose if you get a whiff of it. You don't need much. I take a ammonia bottle, poke a hole in the top, and I just kind of squirt it on and scrub it in, rinse it off, and it's done. All right, no baking soda mess. And baking soda it's spotty too. You might get it in, you might not. You kind of make a slurry with it. Yeah, it'll get in there, but you want to get it out. I don't know. Use Sudsy ammonia. It's by far a better way of doing it. And then you got to make sure you polish it once it's dried. If you don't, you're going to end up with like a dull finish. And that is post flux, pre patina, but it can also be after patina. So you want to just rinse it off really good and just polish it. Use a spray pledge, a furniture spray. Let's see. Bobby. Good does this in a hand. Not a good, not a tool to foil. Even trying. Oh, okay. That's fine. Yeah, my sister, she would foil with her hands and for years, and I like doing it this way. Oh, okay, that's fine. She used the caddy, and she would foil away. That is a preference thing, but I will have to say, the foil tool, the hand tool, will really make foiling a lot easier, quicker, and accurate. It centers the foil like nobody's business. So that's why I use it. I mean, I don't like foil. I don't like when you got to deal with the stickies. So that's why I use the tool. It really does work well for me. And especially if you're doing a big piece, you go right down it. Don't check. You don't have to check if it's even. You can go right there, go around the corner, around this corner, and then you don't have to recenter it, and it's down, and it dispenses the foil too. And if you use this foil, and when you're done using it for a piece, put it down. So that the foil doesn't get all entangled. So there's a little trick to it. But once you learn how to use it, I'll tell you, it's definitely a good tool. But I do get it, the hands-on thing. I get it. I do. Like to roll it with your finger. A lot of times I'll use both. I'll use the hand foiler, and in areas where there's a deep inside curve, I gotta break out the fingers. Foil tool doesn't fit in there. Still drinking coffee. All right. What do you use to polish? There's different ways of polishing. Some people use a finishing compound before they patina, and any finishing compound that contains carnauba wax is still on your glass and foil, your solder, before you patina it. So when you're done patinaing it and rinse it, you just buff it with a soft natural bristle brush. That'll bring it up to a nice luster. So whatever patina you use, the brush will actually pick up some of the residue from the stained glass finishing compound and work it into the final finish coat. If you want to do an after polish, I wouldn't use the finishing compound because it's a little too aggressive. So any dark patina you have or copper patina, it may change the color. So what you want to do is a very, very light mist of furniture spray, Pledge, what have you. And then go back with the soft natural bristle brush. No paper towels. Use paper towels, you're gonna start taking off patina. It's too aggressive, too abrasive actually. And then you get lint. Use a clean natural bristle brush like they used to brush horses with. It's natural bristle. Just buff it up. It's more to the buffing than it is the wax. But if you have wax down first, you're going to bring it back and buff it in. You're going to add wax, a little light mist of furniture spray. It has carnauba in it. Also has a silicone in it. Not what you think like for windows, but it also spreads out and it actually shines up really nice. So just simple furniture spray. Pledge. Alright? That will also clean the glass. Most people aren't aware of that. Pledge will actually clean your glass as well. Has I don't know. It has something in it that cleans glass. Alright. So let's see. We got no takers for the hand foiler. Alright. Unless someone asks a question in the next 2 minutes. I mean, this is, you cannot replace this. This hand foiler is not only vintage. I'm going to read. I know one of them says West Germany. Herman. I don't know. I can't. Oh, here you go. I'm reading it upside down. That's why I can't read it. Huh. Germany. Oh, you know what? They spelt it in 2 languages. Huh. I never knew that. Anyway. Alright, I'm gonna put that right there. Now, this one's already, that one's going to Wicked Glass. This is going for Miss Guilford. And no takers on this foil spinning wheel. And no takers on the foil tool. Wait a minute. Yes, I sent you a message about the hand foil. Oh, see. You want the Bobby? You want the wheel, or do you want the tool? The hand foil. You want this, right? Just say yes or no. I think it's the tool. You will not regret this. You already have the wheel. Oh, so yeah, I'll figure it out. Look, you already have the wheel, so I'm sending you the tool. Alright, here we go. Okay, I figured it out. My brain's on half mode. I don't sleep well when I'm not feeling well. So, let's see, Bobby. hand boiler. You just shoot me an email. Here's my reminder here. Alright, so that's alright. Oh, wait a minute. I saved the best till last. Guys, you know what this is, right? This is the infamous afterburner. Alright, I'm going to give that away right now. I'm going to put this foil, this is going to go back for next time. Nobody seems to want it. Now here we go. If you want the afterburner, ask me a lamp question. Any Tiffany, doesn't have to be Tiffany. Any lamp question. Oh, Jamie, you want the wheel? Alright, let me get, I think Bobby's already got the tool. But yeah, Jamie gets the wheel. Alright. Jamie will wheel. There we go. Alright. I wanted to give that away so bad. Because I think it's a great tool. You know, you got all the instructions on the back. Alright, so that's for Jamie. Alright. I got the glass cutters are all counted for. I got the hand foiler. That is for Bobby. Alright. Now, afterburner. Your glass cutter goes right in there. Let's see if I'm just going to run real quick and get the cutter. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Alright, this is how the afterburner mounts your glass cutter. I have a couple of videos actually showing them. You know, you got the grip like this. You know, holding it like that. Whatever's comfortable for you. You want to put your finger here, a little more control. This is a really good tool. I kid you not. And that's coming from me. I'm not a pusher, but if I was, I wouldn't push a cutter without that. And here's one right now I'm going to give away. Now, I want to leave it this one for a lamp question. And Jamie asked the question, what's the best beginner lamp to try? Well, Jamie, you already got the wheel. And I was more or less leading into like a construction type question, you know, something that has to do with lamp construction or you know, like anything technical about it. Okay, not so much, you know, beginner lamp. You know, you can do a 6-panel hexagon lamp. They're flat panels, and then you put them together. They have lamps, you know, the Warden makes the little mini forms, and that's probably an answer to that question. But your 4-panel lamps, you know, your little sconce lamps, I mean, all of that's good. But, you know, avoid jumping right in and doing an Odyssey lamp. I mean, I've in my history of lamp making, I've actually made my own forms out of fiberglass, designed the lamp, and built the lamp that way. So if you want to shoot for the moon, that's what you want to do. You want to turn your own forms, you know, fiberglass them, design them, and build them. So that's like the ultimate. If you want something easy, a little 4-panel shade, a little swag lamp, you put a single bulb in it, or you can go with the 6-panel hexagon lamps. They're really not that hard to do, especially if you take your time with it. And there's little tricks using blue painter's tape. you lay them all out and you put the blue painter's tape on it with a little bit of space, and you kind of fold them up and stand them all up so you can tack solder them. Alright, so I wish I could do a video on that. That would be fun. Yeah, lamps are done mostly with copper foil, anything in a form, but also a lot of lamps are done with the panel lamps, which have 3/8 H lead between the panels. They actually make a lead that has I believe it's a 30-degree angle to the lead that will work in the 6-panel shape lamps. You got 6 panels, got a 3, so it would be 60 degrees. The lead is actually shaped, like that with my fingers. So you have an H here and an H here, and then you cut it, to the size of the lamp. Yeah, the reinforcement is mostly at the bottom. We use the brass, they call it restrip. It's just a brass, and you solder it to the bottom of the lamp. As well, the top, whether you use a crown with the banding, which the banding is attached to the top with a full ring of solder on the inside. I'd like to show you a picture of that. I have a lamp here, but I don't want to bring it over, but it has a strong 1-inch brass bar across the aperture of the lamp with a hole drilled in it, a 3/8 hole for your lamp hardware. So that's how that's done. And then you have your crown on top. The brass band bar on the inside is so strong you could fling that lamp around. It's not coming off because you have a ring of solder going around the aperture, soldered to the actual banding of the lamp. It's very, very strong. If you're using a canopy, it's the same principle, but on the inside. You have a bead of solder running from the brass canopy to the top layers of the lamp, with a substantial ring that holds it all together, and then tacking on the outside where the brass cap meets the lines of the lamp. So it's actually reinforcing on the outside and on the inside. For added strength, you can add a double canopy, one on top. If you're putting it on a base or lighting fixture, you put one canopy soldered to the top and another one sandwiched to the bottom. With our lamps, we didn't find that to be necessary because they were so strong. The way the canopies were soldered very securely to the top. You'll see Tiffany lamps, they use the lamp rings, which the ring would be mounted to the base. It's like a wheel, and then there would be a recessed ring inside the lamp, soldered in the same way I just spoke about the canopy. And then the nipple for the top canopy and or finial would pass through that wheel, or attach to the wheel and pass through the top of the lamp, and then tighten down with the finial. So that's Tiffany's way. Very, very secure. Actually, a very good way of proof's in the pudding. He made a lot of lamps. Let's see. Lamps don't leave California. Yeah. I'll tell you. Lamp video would be very difficult for me because I'm not in the position to do a lamp video. If I ask my brother nicely, he might do one. So we'll see. We'll see what he says. If you have a slump glass lamp to repair but don't have a kiln, how can you use straight glass to fill the void if the hole is small enough? No, you gotta get a kiln. Unfortunately, any kind of slump glass, If you beg, borrow, and steal kiln if you have to. The slump glass, it's not just a straightforward process. You just don't glue it. There's actually a single bend and a double bend. Most of the older slump glass lamps are a double bend, meaning that it bends down from the top to the bottom on a curve, and it bends side to side. So you have a double. You need a form, right? And there's one that just have a single bend down from the top to the bottom. Those are usually made in larger lamps. Where they also did that and made curved borders. The banding of the lamp, of a glass banding, was actually curved. A lot of the old Handel, Tiffany lamps were done that way. I'd say a lot of them, and also other lamp companies did that as well back in the the early 30s and 40s. So Kimberly? This name is, I know it, but I think it's Kimberly something lamp company. They were very known for that. I mean, unfortunately, I wasn't a lamp historian, but I know Tiffany. I know what old lamps look like. So anyway, so you stumped me on that one. Actually, you didn't stump me. I got stumped on the name. It starts with a K. Actually, Kathy knows the name. She brings it up. But I'm here to give this away. Wicked, you already won. And Jamie, you already won. I need somebody with a fresh lamp question. It could be any kind of question. And you got the afterburner. Alright? Yeah, this tool's earmarked. I'll put that. That's accounted for. Oh, Bobby said, you said your family has past generations of stained glass. Or do you have children that are taking up your business? Yeah. My daughter is showing a lot of interest in it. She's actually made her own stuff. She's just finishing up college for architectural design. She loves Frank Lloyd Wright. She loves stained glass. So if there was ever a future for her, she'd fit right in. My other son, Chris, he's very skilled with his hands. He's very eye-hand coordinated. He would make a great glass cutter or window installer, all of the above. Well, it's my Hannah. She's got the artistic gene. And if she knew I said that about her, she'd be like, Dad! So, but yeah, she loves Art Deco. She loves stained glass. So yeah, I could see her doing it. I had plans in 2020 to open up a studio again with everybody on board, but such is life. Things change. Ended up not doing that because of the economy. We had problems with the world. I really don't want to get political at all, but we all know what happened in 2020, and it just shut down all my plans for opening up another studio. Since then, I was thinking of doing it just recently, but now there are changes in the family plans of relocating, moving. So that kind of put a big stopper on the process. So we'll see where that goes. If wherever I do end up, I'm sure there's going to be glass involved somewhere. So yeah, my brother's granddaughter is making stained glass. She would be the fourth generation. So yeah, I don't see it going away. There's too much, there's too much glass genetics floating around. And Glenn, he's got a son and daughter. I don't know what their aspirations are. And Greg, his daughters, they're all brainiac girls. They're really smart. And let's see. And well, my sisters, they have both of my natural born sisters don't have children. So that's odd. So, but I'm the last holdout. I got 5 kids. Right? 1, 2, 3. That count. Chances are good that they're going to pick up the glass business. So they know. I mean, it's really not a very lucrative line of work to get into. You could really get hurt. You could fall apart, lose your shirt doing it. But the rewards are second to none. Just the fabricating part, the creativity part. But just like any other artist, detailed type of business, you could fall flat on it. Even, I mean, I don't consider myself a great stained glass artist, but I did pretty good. But I was at the mercy of the economy. So that's just it. I'm going to hope that someday get back into it and hopefully, move on, do it. Oh, 4-wheel. Jay. Okay, Jay sent the thing. Or Jamie. Okay. You got the 4-wheel. I think I already have that. Alright. Okay. You're thinking about cop phone. I mean, you could. You just cut out the bad, put in the good. Wicked. I was thinking about copper phone. Yeah, but you're already getting the glass cutters. I'm just kidding with you. Yeah, just make sure you send me an email, Wicked. I want to send you these really old glass cutters. But, alright, so I'm going to widen the question a little bit. Instead of a lamp question, ask me a lamp question or a glass cutting question. Ready? And go. Glass cutting question. First one up, that's yours. That's the afterburner. It's got to be a question. Don't say glass is cool and you're not going to get it. Ask me a real question. And on that note, I'm going to go back to the forum. We have a wolf. A wolf with I'm just going to scroll on by. I have nothing nice to say. I'm not going to say it. You guys, I'm sure that's somebody's pattern, but not who you think. Alright? I'll say that. I'm not going to be negative today. James Moorman. Cute dog. What is that? Dolly? Dolly. Very nice. I want to give away an afterburner. It's a glass cutting question. Let's see, what do we got here? Alex, so. You know what? I don't know if you're a beginner or you're just a little, a little sloppy. But I actually like that. I like the look. It's got an abstract appeal to it. Even with this one here, hanging off. The little blue piece on the right hanging off. It has a certain value to me, aesthetic value. Bobby, you won something already. I use a stencil, a pattern, freehand, you mean English over a light box, or using cathedral glass. That's kind of freehand to me. The marker is tracing the pattern templates. You know, they all work. It all gets you there. But again, I mentioned, if you want proficiency, accuracy, and proficiency and accuracy, use a template and a hand cutter with a draw technique. I mean, that's beyond it. I mean, it is my opinion, but it goes beyond that. I mean, I'll go heads up. Anybody who pushes a glass cutter, and let's do it. I mean, let's do a 500 piece window, no sleep until it's done, and hang it, and see who gets done first. And I would do the challenge. I would have that thing cut 3 hours. You know, and that's from template time. 3 hours, leaded, another 3, and then finished and hanging. I have that window done in less than 9 hours. It straight out. If I knew I was in competition. So, to give you perspective on the value of draw cutting with a template. You can't. There's no possible way you can work as fast or accurate. That's my opinion, but it's also the truth. Donna, she's cutting out a pattern with scissors. You're best using pattern shears. Or just cut it and then cut it again, I guess. Well, Alex, good answer. But you know, once you break out the opalescent glass, you're stuck. It works for cathedral glass. It's the English method. I've seen some folks do it, and they're pretty good at it. But you're not going to be as accurate as template cutting with patterns, using pattern shears. Maria's right. I know, Bobby. Well, you know what? I'm way over my time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the afterburner on the back burner. How about that? I really didn't expect that one. But yeah, you know, it's a long live video. I went long. Maybe I should start off, or, you know, I know if I mention something in the forum, hey, somebody asked us, I could give away 1,000. But, you know, it was for my chat, and that was my little thank you for joining in. And you folks were fun today. I enjoyed it. I really did. I'm going to send out all these nifty gifts as soon as I get a chance later today. And what can I say? Thanks for joining in. I really do appreciate it. I love the company, and the questions you asked. They were really good questions. All right, and with that note, I'm going to end the chat. And we'll see you next time when I go live, or I'll be making more videos. And hopefully we could find a home. I've got 4 of these afterburners. I want to at least give one away. So with that, we're going to stop the stream, and we'll see you on the next time. You take care, everybody.